My name is Mora, and I'm 57 years old. I'm from the United States originally, but I grew up in the Navy, so that's perhaps why I'm so comfortable moving around everywhere. I want to say that being part of the group has been really important to me, and I'll explain why in a minute. But first, I do have one son. He's 37 years old, so he's grown and living in California. I'm very proud of him. What else? I was married briefly, but that man was a very long-term relationship in my life, and he died a couple of years ago, so that was really hard because he was my best friend. Financially, am I feeling secure? No. I don't know any single woman who ever feels financially secure, maybe a millionaire, I don't know. But the fear is that you're going to end up a bag lady in the street. I think a lot of women can relate to that. At this point in my life, I hope that's not a realistic fear, but it still hangs out in my head sometimes. I'm feeling really good about life right now. At 57 years old, I made a huge change back in January, and it's a big risk. And that's where the group comes in. But I'm feeling really hopeful and happy right now, and hopeful that the future will be good as well. As far as what I thought my life would be like at this age, I guess in my romantic heart, I thought that I'd be in a long-term relationship all these years and into my elderly years. I thought I'd be with the same romantic person all my life. And if I gave any thought to the future, that would probably be it. But I was never really one to fantasize about the future that much. I just always figured I'll do what I want to do and what I need to do, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. So it's all working out. As far as my biggest fears at this point in my life, my biggest concerns, they would be financially. I would say that they are financial, except that I quit my job in January to go traveling. So really, how bad can my worries be? Unfortunately, my life got so ugly to me that I had to make a big drastic change. It got so ugly that it was either do that or die, really. So I had to take a big risk. I had to do something different. And so financially, the risk is there, but if I didn't do it, if I didn't take this chance, I would have killed myself eventually. It was that bad. So there are things that are deeper than our superficial worries and fears. And sometimes you just have to take the leap, and I did, and I'm really glad I did, even though it's still a risk. And those financial fears are still in my mind, chattering away all the time. But I'm very happy I've made the choice to take the leap. I got laid off from work. And as a nurse, that was a first, because nurses are really needed. But the company I was working for was in dire financial straits, according to them, so they had to let us go. And my first thought was, oh, God, I'm going to have to learn a whole new hospital system. And I was just so filled with dread at the thought of it. I was so filled with dread, but I had to do it because I've always had to do it. I was a single teenage mother on welfare, and the way I got out of that poverty was by setting myself a goal of getting a college education and then a job that would provide for me and my son. And I did, and there was no option for failure for that because I needed to provide for him. And so I've been working all these years, decades. And the last 2 years, I've come to really hate it, mostly just because I hate working in a corporate environment, and it was killing my soul. It was really bad. But I wasn't taking responsibility for my state of mind, so being laid off was actually a huge gift because I was able to see that maybe for the first time in all these years, I should do what I want to do instead of what I dread. And I just put a couple of paragraphs. I put a post in your group about, the financial risk I was thinking about taking, time off from working and going to travel. And there were so many reasons why, but my heart was scared because of the financial risk. And I put all this down in the post. And the response from the women, it's giving me goosebumps right now, because the response from the group was so loving and so encouraging and so hopeful. It really means the world to me. And there were several women, many women who had already done it, who had already made the leap. And they were like showing me the way. I mean, it was life and death at that point. I wasn't allowing myself to make the change I needed to make, but the women in this group helped me to do it. It sounds trivial, that Facebook group, but it means the world to me. There was hundreds of responses, and it got me really fired up, and it helped me turn the corner and make the decision to take the chance, not get another horrible job, and pack up my things and start doing some world traveling. So I packed up my little life in my little car with my 2 dogs, big dogs, and we've been traveling in Mexico ever since. Well, it took a few months to get ready, but 3 months now in Mexico, and it's great. We're looking for a little pueblo to settle down in for a while and just live life quietly. And I'll be so happy to find that beautiful pueblo, but it's been so fun exploring until then. I love exploring. So a lot of the other women in the group do too. Everybody's always talking about traveling, and I love that. And it's just meant the world to me to have that support.